Troy, did you know that cookies are for closers?
Yes.
We'll keep that in mind.
I'll keep it on the back burner, as I've only seen this movie 400,000 times. Welcome to the Review, a show where two small-town dudes give you our big baby opinions.
Big, super colossal baby opinions.
Big fat baby opinions. I am Troy to the max extreme.
I am JT3 Guy.
And today we are getting to know thine enemy with Boss Baby.
Our first episode of Operation No Baby.
This is the standard set, okay? This is what Macy, now I'm going to put it out there right now, was obsessed with.
Really? What's she getting into now?
Okay, so she still asks to watch this movie.
Yeah.
And when I start it, it's not what she wants.
Uh-oh.
Now, she's into an animated series based on the Trolls movie that came out. That's a Netflix exclusive, which is easier to take.
Okay.
Because there's 2 episodes per episode, so each one's only like 15 minutes long or 10 minutes long. And they're just fun little things or whatever. And I don't really listen to the thing. I just sit there and put it on and I read my phone or whatever.
Yeah.
Like a real parent.
Okay.
So anyway, we're looking for movies, though, coming up. And this was the movie.
We're trying to widen her palette, so to say, in terms of film. We want to get her hooked on good child cinema.
Yes.
Not Boss Baby.
For fuck's sake, not Boss Baby. Let me see if I've got an audio of When We Get Home. Okay, here we go. I'm turning it up. This is audio from We Get Home Every Day.
You want to watch Elmo? Coco. You want to watch Elmo? You want to watch Elmo or Coco? Coco? Banana bread?
Okay, well then she hands me banana bread. Okay, but that was before Boss Baby came into play, right?
Gotcha, yeah.
So now it revolves between, okay, you want to watch Coco? Yeah. Okay, do you mean Coco or do you mean Elmo? Elmo. Baby. Boss Baby? Elmo. I'm like, okay. So I put on one or the other, and one of them is never right. So it always ends up being
You're always
the
a
other
fucking idiot, Troy.
So anyway, now it's like, Baby? Oh, you want to watch Baby? Rolls. Okay, you want to watch Trolls. Okay. So anyway, that's only the last few days. After we already had this set in stone that we were going to do this, she changed it up on us.
Okay. But so we need to widen her film palette in terms of good kids movies.
Yes.
And we are taking that upon ourselves
Yes.
as the loving father and as the loving brought in uncle.
Yes.
Uncle outside of birth. We are taking it upon ourselves to bestow upon Macy the Max some quality children's films.
Yes.
That are not Boss Baby. But tonight, we're talking about Boss Baby.
We needed to set like a standard of what we're dealing with here.
Yes.
This was an obsession for Macy for a month.
A month
solid, maybe a month and a half.
Jesus Christ.
So let me just tell you that every day I watch this movie at least 2 times. Every day. At least twice. I'm not even kidding. One weekend I saw it 9 times.
Yeah.
This movie. In full. Okay?
Non-stop. No commercial breaks.
It
straight through.
Is enough to want to drill your brain out.
But
really, any movie to me would be that.
Yeah.
There are very few movies that I could watch like twice a day, every day.
Oh, I understand that for sure.
But this one...
Yeah. I could, usually even movies that I love, I need to marinate on it for at least a while before I get back into it.
Yes.
You're watching Boss Baby immediately after it ends.
Now, before this, her obsession was Coco.
Yeah.
Now, Coco is a great movie.
It is good.
If you watch it so many times, it gets monotonous. But there are still points Even when it was on every time,
Yeah.
I would still turn and watch because I liked them.
There you go.
There are less points in Boss Baby than there are in Coco.
Well, I'm curious to see if there are points that you actually look up on Boss Baby.
I will get to some.
Okay.
There are few, but there are some.
Okay.
Okay, so Boss Baby
Yeah.
is a DreamWorks production
Yeah.
that dropped March 31st, 2017.
Spring release.
It has a budget of $125 million.
Yeah.
Domestically made $175 million.
Mm-hmm.
So probably didn't make its money back
No.
in the shores here.
Which is weird because usually anything kids makes a fuck ton of money.
Yes. But worldwide made over $500 million.
Oh boy.
Coming in at $527.9 million.
Jesus.
Granting it enough amnesty to have a Netflix series where it somehow continues the story of Boss Baby, even though if you've seen this movie, the animated series makes no fucking sense whatsoever because
No.
it can't work.
No.
But try telling that to a 1.5-year-old.
Have you tried putting on the series to see if she makes...
She knows there's a difference.
She
because
needs the movie.
There is a difference, and a 1.5-year-old can spot it.
She needs to. She needs the movie. The series is not enough. She needs the movie.
It's worse. Okay, Rotten Tomatoes has it at 52%. IMDb has it at 6.3 out of 10, and Metacritic has it a even 50%.
Oh boy.
And
These are not glowing reviews.
Kneel Before Blog has it at a 5.5 out of 10.
Dinosaur Kneel Before Blog?
It's a Kneel, so actually Kneel
Okay.
Before Blog. Yeah. I wish Dinosaur Neil had his own blog that was Kneel
Just Before Blog.
Kneel Before Blog, but it's Neil. That'd be amazing.
Get on it.
So
Get on it, Dinosaur Kneel.
almost all of these reviews, maybe not IMDb, has them about right there at the 50% mark.
Yeah.
IMDb just slightly a little higher.
Yeah.
This movie made number 14 in DreamWorks picture. If you're gauging the box office of all DreamWorks pictures, domestically this one came in at number 14. I'm not going to do the whole thing where I have you guess the
Thank
top
God.
10.
Thank fucking God.
Because I don't care.
But DreamWorks, is this just the animation department or is it
this
the
is
actual...
DreamWorks Animation.
Because I don't think DreamWorks Animation has a lot out. I know they've made a few, but not a lot.
DreamWorks has more out than you think because
Really? Oh, well, I guess Shrek. Yeah.
I think this is the 32nd animated DreamWorks
Oh
film.
boy.
That might be not exactly right, but they have at least 30 out
Okay.
since their inception with
Okay.
like Shrek. Yeah.
All right.
So,
Yeah, I've never heard like glowing reviews of DreamWorks animation films outside of Shrek.
mm-hmm.
I mean, this is an add to their credentials, but
should I find the list of things? I should be able
do
to bring it up.
No, Sony does Hotel Transylvania.
But I think Sony owns DreamWorks.
Really?
Let me find what I had my list on here. Oh my god, this is taking me forever. Hopefully this was worth it. Here we go. Okay, so let me just give you the top 10 of the DreamWorks films here domestically.
Yeah.
Shrek 2, number 1. Shrek the Third, Shrek Forever After, How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. I've never seen those, but I've heard good things about
The first one's pretty good, and there's a third one coming out now.
Yeah, that's supposed to be to solidify the series. And it's cool that they actually have like the characters' age.
Mm-hmm.
Like usually with animated series, they just make them stay the same age throughout.
Yeah. Number 6, Madagascar 2. Or no. Number 6 is Madagascar 3. Jesus Christ. 7, Kung Fu Panda. Monsters vs. Aliens. Madagascar. The Croods. Madagascar 2. Home. I've never heard of. It came out in 2015.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like an alien type movie.
Oh. How to Train Your Dragon 2. Boss Baby, and then number 15 would be Kung Fu Panda 2.
Yeah. I've heard Kung Fu Panda's not bad either.
The first one I thought was okay.
Yeah.
But they also have things like Shark Tale, the Shrek spin-offs like Puss in Boots, Megamind. They had B-Movie.
Well, Megamind got fucked because it came out around the same time as Despicable Me.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they also had Ants.
Yeah, Ants is like
B-Movie.
Ants is like weirdly adult.
Yeah.
It's weird. Because I remember that came out around the same time as A Bug's Life, where like people were like, should we go to Ants or A Bug's Life? And it's like Ants feels like weirdly adult. It's like Woody Allen and fucking
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, Stallone's in. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah. According to this, if they go by this list, there's 35 DreamWorks movies.
It's weird.
I gotta sneeze coming.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, that list ended up being worth it. Here we go. So JT,
well, since you're such the expert, Troy, you should really describe the plot of The Boss Baby.
You got it. So there is this little boy, and he's got a real fun, overactive imagination named Tim.
Yeah.
And this Tim has a loving family with himself, mom, and dad, making the perfect love triangle. And a love triangle, they kind of explain it in the beginning of the movie, is the strongest shape there is. So why add another point to that shape?
Yeah.
Lo and behold, he's got another one on the way.
Does he, though?
Hold on.
I mean, we'll talk about
We'll
that.
get into it. At one point, his mother and father ask him, how would you like a little baby brother? And it seems like that is way too late to ask him because it comes right away. But he has
We'll discuss how this movie will confuse the fuck out of any kid that's trying to decipher how childbearing works.
So, a baby arrives in a taxi and
In a suit.
uproots Tim's life henceforth. And then he must learn how to work with his new younger baby. It's his younger brother.
Yeah.
But all the while get his younger brother back to his baby corpse. Not corpse as in dead thing, but baby core. So he can be his the boss baby, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah, don't dive into the minutia of it because it makes no sense. We'll talk
all
about it.
I want to talk about is the minutia.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's Boss Baby.
Long story short, the baby is actually the boss of a major corporation in heaven. I don't know. Somewhere. He's the head of a major corporation that's trying to determine what cute is. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Let me just tell you what the corporation does. Baby Core.
We're going to have a thoughtful discussion about this movie that seems like it's made for toddlers.
Baby Core is only interested in getting all the attention back onto the babies, as there's been other aspects in any parent's life that is detracting from their love, such as puppies or kittens or other things.
They borderline insinuate that if they don't solidify that babies are the cutest things in the world, abortions would be on the rise.
Oh, that's maybe reading a bit more into it, but
or just there's literally a scene where they get to a point where they unveil a puppy and the mom just throws her baby away and runs screaming towards the puppy, where it's like, are you just insinuating that children will be neglected and killed because puppies are so cute?
Well, I mean, you didn't see that Forever puppy.
That Forever puppy is pretty adorable.
It really is.
I would kill my baby for a Forever puppy.
The Boss Baby becomes a boss baby. Well, not just the boss baby.
It's moments like this I wish we were a video podcast, just so people can see the look on your face while you're trying to explain this.
It's explained in an opening montage that there are two kinds of babies.
Yeah.
A regular baby.
Ones that are ticklish and ones that are not.
And the ones that are not ticklish go into management. And they run Baby Corps. And this is where the titular boss baby goes to, voiced by Alec Baldwin. And he is the best in his field, I guess. I don't know. He's really reaching for that boss baby position.
Yeah.
To become like the big fat boss baby. Or
he's just
big,
reaching
fat,
for
colossal boss baby.
Yeah, because his official title just becomes Boss Baby. But
Yeah.
there are more titles that just involve more adjectives for big.
Yeah, big colossal fat boss baby.
Yeah,
I think
big
is
colossal. Yeah, big colossal fat boss baby is the best boss baby that ever was.
Right.
Which comes back in the movie.
Yeah. But with that, he gets a corner office, which his own personal potty.
Yeah, which we need to discuss.
We can
the
discuss
amount,
everything in this.
The amount of infant ass in this movie.
I would only love to talk about the infant ass in this because
there
is that aplenty.
So much.
There is
animated baby ass in this movie.
Yes.
So much so that it made me uncomfortable.
Let me just go, because I'm going to tie this in with the animation.
Yeah.
So, DreamWorks Pictures, I feel, has a certain look to them that differentiates them from Pixar movies.
Yeah.
And the DreamWorks, all, I feel, are more cartoony looking.
Yeah.
And they're not as polished as Pixar.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. There are moments in this that I thought that they were pretty inventive with their animation, like especially like the like when they go into Tim's imagination and they do some of that 2D stuff. That's was pretty cool.
There's even aspects to this too where later on Boss Baby does a cake angel. And the animation and him smearing the frosting and cake around, I think looks really real.
Yeah.
That's just an aspect I've seen because I've watched this movie 100 times.
Burned in your brain.
But I'm like, that looks like real cake. But then you look at aspects like everyone's hair looks plastic, but they put baby ass jiggle physics on every ass in this movie.
Yeah. The person that animated these asses lovingly animated these baby asses.
These asses.
To the point where I feel like this animator needs to be on a list.
These asses jiggle so slightly that it verges on realism.
Yeah.
The weight of these little jelly-filled asses jiggles almost perfectly.
Like, I can almost hear, like, phone conversations where, like, the director's like, listen, Jim, we need these dailies brought in today. Look, man, I'm almost done with this baby ass. Just give me 6 more hours. I'll have it to you by the end of the day. It's like, Jim, they don't need to be that specific, but okay.
Listen, Jim needs to get all the accolades. I think it's the best animated thing in the movie.
It is. So much attention is paid to these baby asses.
There's a certain... I'm going to bring up 2 scenes right now. There is one scene where...
spanking with the fart at the end?
Hold on.
Okay.
There is a scene where Tim is trying to get the boss baby in a little sailor suit.
Yeah.
And he's like shuffling back and forth, and with every shuffle, you see a little jiggle of the ass.
Really? I didn't pick... Okay,
It's
I'll take your word for it.
And
Don't
I'm like,
worry.
that looks like somebody spent a lot of time on that jiggle physics.
Yeah.
And then there is the powder fart.
I definitely noticed the powder in the powder fart spank scene.
And let me tell you what, that is my least favorite thing in the movie. For whatever reason, when that song starts playing, when they're trying to get ready to go to Puppy Corps, or Puppy Co., That is
Yeah.
the most groan-inducing moments of the movie. Is Tim and Baby getting ready and dressed up to go to Puppy Co. And they play I can't remember what song it is
I don't remember
now,
either.
But it's a popular pop song.
He spanks him to the tune of the song, and it ends with a fart that shoots out a cloud of powder.
That is one of the moments that I always turn to look at to hate watch. That's one right there.
You have to hold back from tweeting "fuck my life" as you watch.
And just tweeting a gif of a fart cloud. So there's that. And there's also a beginning portion of this where babies are being like created in I guess baby heaven factory.
Yeah.
Where
And it's
there is a
nonstop
threat
lines.
of a pacifier being shoved in a baby's asshole.
Oh yeah, that's right. That made me feel really uncomfortable. Where I'm like, oh, you're almost borderline insinuating that some weird anal penetration might happen to a baby
Yeah.
with a pacifier.
It doesn't. But
Thank God.
It's threatened.
It is threatened. They do insinuate that it could happen.
Yes.
The
it
fact
almost
that
does.
the fact that it comes so close means that it might have happened in the past.
There was a mix-up in the pacifier
Yeah.
line. All of them have been
Yeah,
asked.
some kid just becomes born fucked up and you don't know why, but it happened
Yep.
before you were aware.
Yeah, those kids are never
when a
ticklish.
pacifier, yeah, they are not. Yeah, I'm sure if that were to happen, he would not have been ticklish.
Nope.
He
Would
would
have gone right into management.
management and would have fucked baby core up.
You bet. Let's get into my actual notes that I have here, huh? Let's see. So there's a lot of references to other movies in this movie.
Movies that kids should not even be aware of.
And I feel like this movie leans really hard on them for comedy elements or
Yeah.
things that like parents would pick out in this. But then also at the same time, I feel there's a disconnect because there's
Yeah.
jokes of like the cookies are for closers.
That's
joke.
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yes. But like our generation didn't grow up. And I feel like our
Yeah.
generation is the ones that have kids now that are watching this.
Yeah.
It's like our parents' generation that would be watching that would get that joke.
Yeah, I feel especially with like movies like this, like there are so many out of touch people making these fucking movies where it's like, man, we're not asking you to fucking give us things where we're like,
Right.
we just want a good fucking story so we're not fucking being mind numbed to death
Yes.
watching it. We just want something we can connect with. And like, we can't connect with just a fleeting scene of a reference to a movie we might have seen. We want like actual good stories.
I also... Okay, yeah. I was just looking up somebody's name. I couldn't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah. But the only reason the cookies is for closers line is funny is because Alec Baldwin plays
Yes.
the character that says that.
Yeah, that coffee is for closers.
Yeah, coffee
in
is for closers.
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's funny if you are maybe like a film nerd and know that movie. For whatever reason, I knew that, and normally I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I knew it. But that'd be like something my mom and dad would know. They also have that alarm clock that's a wizard that always has the one joke of "You shall not pass." That's the only thing
Lord
he
of
says.
the Rings, yeah.
It's like there's that. There's shit. I thought I wrote
Like
down
every
one other thing.
film reference in this should not even be relevant to the kids that would actually like this movie.
No. No. This also has, I feel like, a clear lack of direction as a whole. So,
Troy, I'm going to say that I feel like the person that made the plot to this movie is on some drugs that I kind of want to try.
So
It is so fucked.
Chelsea and I have actually gotten in an argument of what Boss Baby is really about in the end. And I think we both ended up being right, but Chelsea ended up being, I think, more right. And where really everything is not real. Everything is imagined.
See, that's what I wanted to believe in the beginning.
But I was arguing in that movie does not make that clear enough.
Yeah.
Because some parts seem like it's out of his imagination and are happening in reality, such as when the boss or the babies are all having like a meeting and all the parents are in the house.
Yeah.
And the babies are actually talking with one another.
Yeah.
And then they come in and then they go into like baby mode and like act cute on the floor.
Yeah.
Does that actually happen?
See, so we had a thing, like, I think it was like a couple days ago, like, I messaged you when I first started this movie. I told you I was a half hour in, and I was being coy about it, because, in all honesty, like, in the first half hour of this, I wasn't hating it.
Yeah, I think it starts relatively
I was
okay.
kind of digging it, especially when they established that Tim has an active imagination, and then this baby comes in who is the boss baby.
Yeah.
And they don't really go outside of the realm of it could still be in his imagination.
Yes.
And Alec Baldwin does enough things where I'll chuckle every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, granted, a lot of his comedy is like over, like anyone who's over 5-year-old's head.
Yes.
Like, a lot of his comedy is like, why would a kid even think that's funny?
Yes.
Like, he all of his humor is borderline adult in this.
Yeah, but then to an adult, it's not funny.
Yeah, but like his humor is based on things that only adults would
understand.
be. Yeah, only adults would be like, no.
Yeah.
Like his reference to like, oh, make sure I get the sushi, blah blah blah, all this
Right.
shit, like barking orders, like anything business related. It's like,
oh my
god, any kid that's under, like, even like maybe 8 years old, under 8 years old, would not know any of the references that Alec Baldwin's making.
Right.
So why the fuck are you making them in this movie that's borderline made for only 5-year-olds?
Right. Anytime he brings up any business, anything, makes me sick to my stomach. So, like, when he says, like, oh, I'm not ticklish. I don't ever like to get tickled. What was that one time in that retreat? But any business thing, like, I'm like,
But it's like,
what the fuck is going on?
Are you insinuating you had sex as a baby?
That's what and like things like that. And then in order to like get something across, he's like, I'm going to write the perfect memo. And it's like, that fucking makes me sick.
Kids don't know what fucking memos are.
Yeah, but even like, okay, so like Tim even says like, that sounds terrible. And then he goes in to talk about like how great memos are. And I'm like, fuck this. Memos suck. All of this is terrible. And then he goes on and like even like in that scene, he's got his like sleeves rolled up and his tie loose and he's eating like Chinese food out of the thing. I'm like, this all is fucking groan-inducing garbage to me right now. I fucking hate everything that he's doing.
Yeah.
Even more than the fucking powder fart. But then the powder fart comes and I hate it the most.
But yeah, but the first half hour of this is pretty fun, and then they get to like his meeting with the babies, which I think my favorite characters in this whole movie are like his baby employees.
Sure.
Like the one girl, the 3 yes men babies, and then the big fat one.
Right.
That always seems to have plumber's crack because heaven forbid we don't see a baby's ass for less than 5 minutes in this movie. But like they're all pretty fun characters, and they have that really cool chase scene at the end and like the backyard when Tim gets them on tape talking to each other, and they're all trying to take it from him.
Yeah.
Like, that chase scene's fun, and they even do like the thing where they break reality and they show they're just only going like 2 miles an hour.
Right.
But in Tim's mind, they're like going like 100 miles per hour throughout the whole fucking yard, like chasing each other
Right.
and like making things blow up and shit.
Right.
Like, that was all fun. And then they get to where Boss Baby takes him to Baby Core, and I was like, what fucking drugs are these fucking writers taking? Because they are like weaving this web of narrative that's like, it makes no fucking sense.
No. Like when they suck on the pacifiers to like virtually go to baby core.
Yeah. Then why would you develop that technology? Because there's people up there talking shit about Boss Baby, and he's seeing all of it.
Yeah, he's seeing it in real time.
Where it's like, so then why are you people acting so cavalier when you know this technology exists that he can fucking just show up whenever with you not knowing?
Right. That's why I think if you think about it too hard, it breaks the whole movie, because then it all has to be imagined for Tim's point of view, or else nothing works.
Yeah. But then, like, even when the baby shows up, like, it just shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, even at the end when he just shows up as a regular baby, it's like, you were never the chick was never pregnant. She just shows up one day in a cabin, like, got a baby. It's like, after what? You just had one of those, like, accident, like, is it one of those, like, true TV, oops, I was pregnant type episodes?
I had a baby in a toilet.
Yeah, like, she sat in a toilet at Six Flags and then popped out a baby.
Well, so I don't want to burst your bubble, but it does show that she is pregnant, like, early on in the movie when they ask, like, do you want to have a baby brother?
Oh, really?
She sits down on the bed and she's, like, showing.
Oh, okay.
But, like, the thing is, that's what I wanted to bring up, like, why wouldn't you bring this up, like, way earlier?
No shit.
To Tim being like, hey, you're going to have a baby brother, like, in 6 months, not like, hey, tomorrow your mom's going to give birth. And
yeah,
you're gonna
even
have to
when they
stay
ask
at
him, like, do you
grandma's.
want a baby brother? And he's like, no. We're like, well, fuck that idea. Where it's like, at least tell him he's going to have a fucking baby brother. Don't make it where it's like it's an option. Shit's not an option anymore. The kid's fucking coming out.
Right. Also, I find it, like, Tim's very selfish. Like, I mean, I guess it's just sort of like a normal kid thing. Like, he says, no thanks, I'm enough.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, you could think you're a lot of yourself.
Like, but that's what kind of makes me like the first part of this, where I feel like it definitely addresses, like, the frustrations of, like, an older brother. Like,
yeah.
you can speak more from it. You're, like, a super older brother.
Yeah, but I
You've
wasn't
got,
7 years old when my next brother came along.
True.
I was like 1.5 or 2 years old.
But you were like 7 years old when one of your brothers came around, weren't you?
I was 6 years old when my youngest brother was born. But by that time, I'm like, yeah, what's another one?
True.
You know, like,
True.
I don't know. I don't know
True.
any different. And, like, I have no idea what... I never felt like there was any favoritism or anything like that.
Like, I feel like this movie would have worked more if they just kind of, like, would have played on, like, okay, I feel like this baby is ruling our lives like a boss would, and that's he sees the baby as Boss Baby.
Yeah.
But then they, like, took it literally, where it's like, no, he's an actual boss baby that runs baby core, where you're like, Jesus Christ, you don't need to take it so fucking literally. This movie could literally just been nothing but Tim's imagination, and it would have been way more interesting than just, we have to develop this weird fucking narrative where babies are competing with puppies.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, how the fuck are you gonna make puppies a villain in a movie?
Yeah. Once it starts, like, breaking down, like, near the end, I can't decipher, like, what is actually what is actually real and fake. Because, so, there's a big reveal that big fat colossal boss baby is Francis, the guy who runs Puppy Co.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to get back at the babies by making this forever puppy, which will, like...
Yeah, which will make people not care about babies and then stop giving birth.
I don't know. Who knows? But, like, I guess in Tim's eyes, like, that's how it works if this is all imagined by him.
Yeah.
But, so, like, he's also getting babysat by this big brute. I think it's Eugene.
Yeah.
And the Eugene character frustrates me to no end.
He's
but
a master of disguise.
He is a master of disguise who disguises himself as some sort of Mary Poppins character, because he's practically perfect in every way, which is a nod to Mary Poppins, which is only a reference that probably my mom and dad would get. So he comes...
Well, not anymore. Mary Poppins Returns
Oh, she's back in a big way, baby.
She's back in a big way.
So anyway, they fake that Boss Baby's sick to get out of Eugene's hair so they can get to Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Like, they would actually have to travel there, right?
Yeah.
Because their parents are at a conference in Las Vegas, so they have to go from wherever they are to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So did they
They do get on a plane.
So that's not imagined, but that's way out of, like, the dose of actual reality.
Yeah.
I do. Okay, there are two parts of this that I like.
Yeah.
I like the part where they do the big guy in a trench coat, but it's a big guy in an Elvis suit as Elvis.
Oh, dude, I loved all the Elvis shit in here, especially when they, like, translate their Elvis speech. I was digging that.
So that part I like. And there's also one part that when the parents are sleeping on the couch and he's talking about making the perfect memo, and they have to learn that they have to fake loving each other in order to get what they want.
Yeah.
At one point Tim's like I hate you or whatever or something. I can't remember the exact line off the top of my head. And the joke is Alec Baldwin's like, well, hate's a strong word. It's the right word, but it's just a strong one. Like, that's a joke that I think works and I like a lot.
Yeah.
But those are only like two little things in the movie. I'm like, I like that and I like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think this movie is just utter garbage. Like,
it's terrible, but I do like the action scenes in it, like the backyard action scene, and then the one with weird ass muscular Mary Poppins chasing him down the street was kind of fun.
Like kick flips on that wagon.
Yeah, and then he calls for backup from his employee babies, and they show up, and there's like a scene where like the three yes men are in a fire truck and they like fire themselves at him, like as the cannonballs and shit. Like,
yeah,
that shit's kind of fun. I was kind of digging all that stuff. Like,
the action scenes are fun.
Yeah, they're fun for what they are. Like, especially for like kids that are just watching it out of just like not knowing what's going on.
Yeah,
I think that's what probably would attract them to this movie. Just those things alone.
Like, I agree. Like, all the stuff with those action scenes and like Tim's overactive imagination, it's enough to grab like somebody that's like Macy's age up till, I don't even know, like 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know what a cutoff would be for this movie to people would enjoy it and pick it apart like we are. But they're I don't remember my train of thought now. There is so I'm just gonna go on with what I was gonna say before. So that Eugene character is a part of like this Francis. Oh my god. So I need to back up more, I think. So big fat colossal boss baby ends up like getting dismissed from being the boss baby.
Yeah.
Goes to Earth, gets raised by this like farm family.
Yeah. They have this like weird milk serum that can
Infinity
keep you a baby.
formula.
Yeah, keep you a baby forever, but because big fat colossal boss baby is lactose intolerant,
Right.
it gets to a point where he can't have it anymore, so they fire him.
Right.
And make him an actual baby and send him to Earth.
Right. And he gets raised by this weird
Farm?
podunk hillbilly farm
Yeah.
family where Eugene like grows up like as his like, I guess, pseudo brother,
Yeah, but
dad. I don't know.
So how does it work where, like, when they say that the management of Baby Corps finally gets sent to Earth, they do not have any memory of when they were at Baby Corps.
Only after they lose their pacifier.
Yeah. Oh, so he kept his pacifier when he was sent to Earth?
I guess so, because I think it hangs around his neck on a necklace.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay, so he kept the memory of Baby Corps by sucking on his pacifier when he's well into his mid-50s.
Yeah, and a creepy old man who makes like infinity puppies or whatever they are.
Yeah. The drugs that had to go into making this, literally, like, how the fuck do you think of this horse shit? It is so weird.
So I'm gonna keep going on in this train of thought because I'm gonna swing back to the Eugene character at the end here. So at the end, Tim's mom and dad work for Puppy Co.
Yeah.
And that's where Francis is the boss of now. So like they are going to try to overthrow Francis's plot. And we'll find out what it is, overthrow it so the babies get all the love, And, like, that makes the balance in the world, I guess. So, they infiltrate Puppy Co. with their parents. They get to the back room to find the master plans, which this bothers me only because I've watched it 100,000 times, is that when they do that whole, like, the whole Indiana Jones thing, where they're trying to, like, leaven out, like, the weight of this manila folder.
Rip off Indiana Jones.
That the size discrepancy doesn't work. So when they're looking at this folder on this, like, paper box, Boss Baby is, like, looking up on his tiptoes at this thing. And then it cuts to a scene where he's, like, wants it so bad that he's drooling, and then the drool falls and lands on top of this manila folder, where I'm like, that doesn't work! You've already shown that he's shorter than the box! It drives me crazy, these inconsistencies, these small little details. And then it like pans back to him, and he's like trying to peek over the box to see this manila folder. And then they switch it out, obviously, and then it turns into this whole mousetrap situation.
They literally recreate the entire formula of Mousetrap.
Right. I do think it's funny. It's like, we should go, but I kind of want to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
And so they end up getting caught in a mousetrap.
Yeah.
Eugene is there at the end in a big dog suit. And takes him to Francis, where he reveals his whole master plan of the Infinity Puppy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And how he's going to, like, cram all these puppies in a plane and, like, scatter bomb them across the United States so babies are hated and puppies are loved.
Yeah, so when they keep the rocket from going off with all the puppies, what happened to all the Infinity Puppies? Because they just ran away.
Yeah, I don't know. You can chalk it up to being they don't exist, I guess. I don't know. They're imaginary. It's Tim's imagination.
These poor Infinity Puppies are just going to starve on the streets.
What bothers me is that there's a whole rocket in the back room of this convention center that nobody seems to notice.
Yeah.
That's like, can just have a big open roof and this big rocket's going to launch from this Las Vegas convention center.
Also, Boss Baby tries to murder Eugene at one point. Because they do a thing where they throw Eugene's head into a toilet, and then they lock the toilet seat with his head still in the toilet, and they just close the door like, took care of that, where it's like, he's gonna drown to death. Granted, he gets up with the toilet still in his head and chases them.
Right.
But it's like, you left him thinking, like, knowing that will kill him.
Yes.
Boss Baby's a murderer.
He's a murderer as fuck. I guess there is one little bit that I like around that scene too, where Eugene is as like the Mrs. Doubtfire, Mary Poppins character. He's watching TV, and there's that Julia Childs ripoff.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, oh, the secret to fried butter is just margarine. And they just like shows the Julia Child character dumping a whole box of butter inside this fucking bowl and just stirring it up and gonna fry it with margarine. So anyway, that's like a little funny joke I like.
Oh, fuck.
So anyway, it's to the end of Boss Baby here, where...
before we get to the end of Boss Baby, Troy, do you still like the song Blackbird?
No. Because they only sing one stanza of it the whole time. They never go on.
It drives me fucking insane. I like the song Blackbird, but it was like, they had it... It sounded like Kids Bop version of Blackbird throughout, because they have Tim sing it like 6 fucking times, where I'm like, enough!
They got...
Sing another fucking song!
Phoebe from Friends sing it like fucking every 5 minutes.
Jimmy Kimmel's the dad, too.
Yeah.
Like, good lord.
Anyway.
Bring in Tobey Maguire to play adult Tim.
Which I guess was... changed from Patton Oswalt, was going to originally be Tim.
Really?
Or adult Tim, rather.
Yeah.
And so Francis is played by
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
But it was going to be... Fuck, why am I going blank with names right now?
Patton Oswalt?
No, Francis was going to be
Tobey Maguire?
not Tobey Maguire. The big evil guy ended up being Steve Buscemi, but it was... Fuck, the
What
guy
was-
from House of Cards. Why can't I think of it?
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey. But because all that shit came out with him,
Yeah.
they reneged on that and made a pretty good decision on not to do it that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, God, I fucking can't stand it when I can't think of names, but I can think of all the fucking powder farts in this movie that drive me nuts. Okay, so leading to the end of this movie, the whole like plan has been foiled at this point.
Yeah.
Francis gets thrown into a vat of infinity formula.
Yep.
Where he now emerges as like the big fat colossal boss baby again
Yep.
because he's reverted back to his baby form.
Yeah.
Eugene comes and scoops him up, and as he think he's gonna grunt like he does in any other point of the movie, he clears his throat, has a British accent, and then says, "We'll do better this time." And then goes back and dances off screen, in which you never see him again. I'm like, what? Is this just made for a stupid joke? Like, I fucking hate that.
Oh fuck.
Ugh.
I missed that because I was watching like the last half hour of this. I was doing dishes while also watching
That
it
makes
at the
sense.
same time. But yeah, then they release all the puppies to die in the wilderness.
Yeah, they're all just...
So they
or live forever in the wilderness. Who knows? Make some scourge
they're
on
puppies. They're gonna get eaten by something.
some hawk that'll turn into an infinity hawk.
There's so many Infinity Hawks in Las Vegas.
Well, probably infinity vultures if they're out there.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Just picking the dead forever.
Yep, so many Infinity cars that ran over these Infinity puppies in the middle of the road.
Oh no. And eventually now the boss baby and Tim are coming to terms because they ended up liking each other. And they agree that they should that the boss baby can now go up there, even though now Tim yearns for his companionship. And then while he's up being boss baby, he now realizes that he had something great with Tim.
Yeah.
Quits his boss baby position.
Tim sends him a memo that he wrote himself with
Yeah.
a bunch of wood blocks because that's how they determined like the separation of love at one point.
It doesn't
So then
tie
he's like,
back to really
you
anything.
get all my love, and then he sends him a bunch of wood blocks, and he's like, oh my god, I'm so fucking hard over these wood blocks,
Which is supposed to like tie back to like this weird abacus thing.
yeah. Well,
But like
there's
loosely.
a scene. Yeah, there's a scene where when Boss Baby first talks to Tim, he's like, he used the abacus to be like, this used to be your love, now this is my love, and he like pushes it to like closer to him, where it's
Right.
like, I'm getting all the love because I'm the younger brother, blah blah blah. And then Tim, to show that he's welcome, sends him a bunch of weird abacus blocks in a box to show that he
Right.
deserves all the love.
Right.
And then Boss Baby is like, oh fuck yeah, and he
I'm gonna
goes and quits.
Get all naked and quit.
Yeah, I need to show my baby ass so the fucking animator can jerk off later.
I'm gonna go just forcefully kiss this woman or this other baby,
Yeah.
and then quit, and then jump down the chute to be a real baby, and then show up at Tim's house,
Yeah.
to be a real baby at the end.
So you can choose which family you're a part of, I guess, when you're a baby.
Apparently, that's the rules that are created by this loose structure of whatever this movie is.
Oh fuck, Boss Baby.
Let me just see if I have any more notes.
Give me another beer, Troy. I need to fucking drink talking
got
about
it.
this shit.
I'm gonna be done. I need to be coherent for the end of this, I think. One of my notes was memos. Ugh. The last one I wanted to say is that this movie is kind of ill-received being like at 50% by what we said before of all
Yeah.
the Rotten Tomatoes and etc.
Yeah.
But this movie was nominated for Best Animated Feature in the Oscars. And it was one of the lowest rated ones ever to be nominated for an Oscar. But what was weird was this came out the same year as the Lego Batman movie, and that one wasn't nominated.
Oh, fuck them.
Yeah, it was nominated over that and then a few other things that were actually deserved to be nominated.
Fuck that.
Yeah, so that was like a huge like kerfuffle in the animated sector of the Oscars.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck all that shit.
That's the only other note that I haven't gotten to yet, but
Yeah. Moral of this story, fuck the Oscars.
yeah, for real. So, is there anything else detail-wise you want to bring up about Boss Baby? JT?
I can't think of
I'd
anything.
be happy to talk more about any of it.
I'm
if you'd
sure
like.
you probably have lived this story countless times. I don't know. I mean, Tim is likable enough, but there are some times where like he comes across as so genuine a kid that age where I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Like, especially when Boss Baby springs him from quote unquote jail where he's grounded in his room, and he's just spouting off just shit that I've heard so many kids say, where I'm like, oh fuck you, just shut up.
Yeah.
It's like, that's my song. I like that song.
Right.
Or like, oh god, no, you don't. Shut. Kid, you just need your fucking ass kicked.
One thing I did want to bring up that I forgot when we were talking about this too is that I feel as if that maybe Tim was like a miracle baby for Phoebe and Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
So like, because they go above and beyond parenting. God.
Yeah.
Like coddling.
The things that they do for that kid in the beginning of this movie, I'm like, what the fuck? This kid's shit needs to be made out of fucking solid gold. You were treating him with this much fucking attention.
They read him multiple stories before he'll even go to sleep.
Yeah, it's like 5 stories.
And sing him a song. And like jump through hoops in order for him to go to bed every night.
Yeah.
And they happily do it, which I want to call bullshit.
Yeah,
right
you've
now.
You've got a kid right now, and you're just like, go to bed.
Granted, Macy goes to bed fairly easily.
Yeah,
like she doesn't need a story read to her.
All right,
like if she's tired, she'll like say like she'll rub her eyes and be like, "You want to go to bed?"
Yeah,
and she'll sometimes throw a fit, but then when you put her down, she'll get covered up and then she'll not make a peep for the rest of the night, unless she truly isn't ready to go and she'll like stand up and scream.
Yeah.
But I mean, that happens.
Do you read bedtime stories, Troy?
No, but I read to her throughout the day.
There you go.
So I don't.
When she gets that certain age, will you read bedtime stories to her?
Yeah, of course.
Right on.
I don't think I'll read 5 to her and then
Are you gonna
sing
read bedtime comics?
I would. She already knows who Batman is.
There you go.
Because I had a Batman comic just laying on the couch. She goes, Baba? Or Batman? And I'm like, that is Batman. Yeah. And then she likes to look at that Spider-Man bank right there.
There you
and
go.
that's Spa-Man.
Spa-Man, there you go.
And I'm like, that is Spa-Man.
I'm just imagining you reading Dark Knight Returns to her, where it's like, see that? He nasty.
He don't shiv. He Billy Berserk. But yeah, I that's like my dream, to have this kid that I can mold, right?
Oh no.
Into like knowing the weird shit that I know, so it just drives Chelsea nuts and be like,
oh no.
Macy, what do you think of the Kree Supreme Intelligence? And she'd be like, and just like have a conversation with me. And
I can just imagine Chelsea's pulling and saying, what are you morphing my child into?
But anyway, that's just little plans of mine. I just want to plant seeds here and there. Since she already knows, she's not even 2 and she knows who Batman and Spider-Man are. I think I'm doing okay.
You're
all right.
Just gonna comic nerd her to death.
But then, I mean, Ghost Hunter Davis tried to do that, and granted, they only have like, he tried to like push the Batman animated series on his kids.
Yeah.
And they like certain episodes, but then they otherwise can take or leave it.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I want to push and like not receive it back, or just want to be like subliminally
test the waters?
Yeah, be like,
test the waters.
Never seen this Batman show? We want to check it out, or I think I like it. I don't know. I don't know if I like it or not. I dabbled in it when I was a kid, so I don't know if you like it or not. But anyway, Boss Baby.
Yeah.
You want to throw a grade on this bitch?
Yeah, on this bitch for sure. I mean, I was liking the first half hour of this when I thought it was all in his imagination, but when they really hammer home that it's like, this could be real, I was like, fuck this. So, man, just for like the two action scenes that I was kind of digging, maybe a low D-.
Okay.
But just for those, this movie it's like, if you pull it apart, it's dumb as fuck, and
Pull one thread at all.
yeah, and the
out.
humor is not good through most of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the small fleeting things that I actually liked, I'll give it a D-.
Okay. I was surprisingly I'm going to rate it a little higher than you, but not by
Really?
much.
Yeah.
But it's I was going to give it a D+.
Okay.
It is like, I can appreciate it because Macy likes it because there's babies in it, and she has her own little baby, and she likes that kind of stuff.
When I first showed up, she was just pulling dolls out of her toy chest and just saying "baby, baby, baby."
To show you that she has a baby, and one may or may not be a boss. But I like that kids can jump into it and like it. But there are so many things that we just went over on, and it's like, this doesn't make any sense. It's not really that good of a movie. It's kind of fucked up.
It feels so drug fueled. Someone woke up on something and was like, "What if puppies and babies were like fighting?"
I feel like they had an idea of like a nugget of an idea.
Yeah.
And they tried to drive it home with a kid with an overactive imagination.
Yeah. And they brought in someone that just took it all literally.
At least at some point, because it doesn't work.
It gets so literal at one point where you're like, I could have taken this as some kid's imagination and it would have been way better.
Yes.
And then it feels like you brought in a writer where it's like, oh, you want him to be a boss? Well, then he has to be a part of a corporation. He needs an rival. We're like, no, you don't. He needs to be a boss baby.
Yeah.
He's a baby who's a boss. You don't need to develop a fucked up corporation that he's in charge of with multiple babies involved and then make a rival that's puppies ran by a former baby that's... I feel like someone had an agenda where it's like, I got fucked with this corporation. If I had another corporation, I'd be the head of it and fuck them over. I'm like, you're parading to fucking 4-year-olds. You don't need to be this convoluted with some weird revenge plot in a corporation.
Yeah, it's messed up. So the end of this movie shows that maybe it was or was not imagined by Tim. Most likely it all was. So this movie also takes place, it's like an indeterminate, like an amount of time that it takes place in. Because now I kind of want to bridge to the animated series that's on Netflix and why it makes no sense.
Okay, yeah.
Because it also, that series takes place sometime during like the in-between moments of this series.
Yeah.
But it can't work because Tim and Boss Baby don't like each other. They don't like each other until the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Where in the series, they're best buds.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my god. No,
and they all like scheme together and they're fun, like playing around together. I'm like, that doesn't work. You see the end of this movie, he's not the Boss Baby anymore for one. And
well, when they first start getting together, they say it's 2 days before the convention. And then that one day when they get together, a lot of shit happens.
Yes.
Like there's a scene where he's feeding him. There's a scene where they're bathing together. There's a scene where they're getting a family photo taken together.
Yep.
That all takes place in a day.
Yep.
It's like that scene in like Naked Gun when like they do all that shit and like they do like a bunch of fucking shit and she's like, that was the best date I ever been on. We're like, she insinuates that it was all took place in one day. Like, that's the first thing that came to mind. They have that whole montage, and they like insinuate that it was all in one day. Like, they literally do so much shit in one day where you're like, that wasn't in one day.
Right.
Just doing a family photo alone is a day.
Yes.
And they do that. He feeds him. They take a bath together.
Right.
They do all this shit in one day where you're like, bullshit.
Bullshit. So yeah, anyway, that's our thoughts on Boss Baby. So that is going to set our ground standard of what Macy was obsessed with probably 45 days.
Yeah. So now we need to find... And you say that she's obsessed with Trolls, this Trolls series now.
Yes, and she liked that Trolls movie that came out.
Okay.
But now that's no longer on Netflix. It's weird that the movie is not, but the series is.
Okay.
And she liked that too, and that one was okay too. It's like the Anna Kendrick, and they sing like kind of real songs.
I never saw it.
It's okay. I kind of like it.
Okay.
It's easy enough to watch 90 times. So anyway, that's what's coming up. Next Monday is our first four-way.
Yeah. I have an idea. Do you want to use my idea for next week?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I saw it on Netflix not too long ago. I think the animation is close enough that she might be interested, and it's pretty colorful.
Okay.
And it has different aspects that include different things that might keep her attention. My suggestion for our next week's episode for Operation No Baby is the film on Netflix right now, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Okay. All right.
I think it's got a pretty cool plot to it. Bill Hader's the main character.
Okay.
So you got Bill Hader there.
All right.
And I think it's a fun story, and it's colorful enough that I think it might keep Macy's attention.
All right. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs it is.
So there you go. That's our first official episode to try and get Macy off of Boss Baby, which it seems like she's already off of it anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
But just to see if she'll test the waters or anything else, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs sounds like it could work.
Yeah.
I've seen it, and I like it, from what I can remember. I haven't seen it since it came out.
It's fun. I saw it like about a week ago.
I
dug it.
All right. Sounds good. So we'll have our full review rather, and I'll also have what Macy thought of it.
Yeah.
If she was able to sit through the whole thing.
Yeah. And also, in the meantime, make sure you send us out your suggestions for what you think she would be into if it's on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, or HBO.
Yes. Send that to us, and you can do that at reviewreviewpod@gmail.com. You can send us an email. Tell us why you think she would like it, why you like it.
Yeah.
Or if your kids are into it, if you have them running around the house. Or you can hit us up on Twitter. I'm at Troy to the Max on Twitter.
I am at Buggy for Everyone on Twitter. Also, Buggy for Everyone on Instagram, and Hey Why Not Buggy for Everyone on Snapchat.
If you want to hit us both up, you can do so at reviewpod on Twitter. Tell us what movies you think Macy would enjoy, or what your kids would enjoy on those streaming services. You can listen to this on a multitude of platforms. If you like to use iTunes, you can do so like normal. And you can rate and review us there, because if you like the show, it helps other people find the show. But we're also in like Stitcher and Google Play and Spotify and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So you can find us there as well.
Yeah.
And that'll do it.
Exactly.
JT. Yeah.
Why not? So join us this coming Thursday when we talk about the Lego Movie.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite movies from the year that it came out. I think it was 2015. I gotta look into it.
It's 15 or 16.
15 or 16. Yeah, one of those. But yeah, one of my favorite movies that came out. I'm curious to check back into it to see if I still love it. And this is all to lead up to the Lego Movie 2, the second part coming out.
Yep.
In theaters pretty soon for our February Teddy Bear Month.
Our family-friendly February.
Yes, family-friendly February. We're doing this mini-series, and we're also Oh, talking
gonna
about
make
a bunch of family friendly films.
That's right.
I'm gonna need something at the end of this that's adult oriented.
Yeah, me too. Every day I need something, just like coffee with Bailey's in it or something. Anything.
Yeah.
Anything to get you through the day. Anyway, so that's going to be the show until Thursday, where we do
Lego
Movie. I've been Short of the Max Extreme.
I am JT3K.
And we